Yeah, Susie, you've got Geoffrey Miller from the Democracy Project on the line with you.
That's right. Geopolitical analyst Geoffrey Miller with some more insights into CHOGM. Thank you for being with us this morning, Geoffrey. Taking a wider look at some of the issues here, the situation with the slave trade, a growing call really by some Commonwealth leaders for an apology from the UK. Is that an issue that's on the agenda for the Commonwealth leaders?
Good morning, Susie. Yes, it's an interesting debate. The new candidates for the Secretary General of the Commonwealth Secretariat are all seeing this as very much an issue. The issue of an apology and reparations for the slave trade. I don't think it's a debate that's going to go away anytime soon. Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, did actually make an apology way back in 1840 for the slave trade. He called it the blackest stain upon civilised Europe. And of course, Britain did abolish the slave trade back in 1807, and they had the Royal Navy enforcing that ban for decades after that. But nevertheless, I don't think it's a debate that's going to go away anytime soon. It would be a very expensive business. There was a report that came out last year that suggested the UK would be on the hook for reparations in the order of £18 trillion. That's around 39 trillion New Zealand dollars. Trillion, not billion.
A huge amount of money. And of course, the transatlantic slave trade is something that has very much been in the headlines recently, and various people discovering their links to it, and indeed organisations. What about for leaders of the Pacific? Because they, of course, will want to talk about the Pacific slavery trade, the blackbirding. Is that something that got raised?
Yes, of course. While most of the discussion about the slave trade does tend to focus on the transatlantic slave trade, you're right, there's an aspect that does affect the Pacific, the idea of blackbirding when Pacific people were brought particularly to Australia in slavery-like conditions to some extent. So I think this will be an issue that unites a lot of the Commonwealth leaders. And just remember that 25 of the 56 Commonwealth members are small island developing states, 33 are small states. It is a grouping that heavily favours the global south developing countries in particular. So there'll be a lot to discuss about behind closed doors today, no doubt.
Appreciate your time, and thank you very much for joining us on Saturday morning. Democracy Project analysis, Geoffrey Miller there. 7:30.